This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, and the so-called Satanic Temple is at it again. The Satanic Temple presents Satanic Revival, a gathering of satanic community and enlightenment this weekend in Baltimore, Maryland. And according to their schedule of events, both days feature an opening ceremony, which is common for satanic events. They're going to talk about the struggle for justice, an interesting word choice which I will touch on later, the path to satanic ministry, a ceremony of internal pride, and of course, a drag performance as well. They're also going to talk about Satanism and the trans experience, sinful testimonies, and there will also be a talk on the study of the satanic religion. They're also proud to introduce the president's huge, most beautiful, tremendous satanic abortion clinic, providing free abortion health care in Maine. This is the world's third satanic abortion clinic. And of course, a couple of years ago, I covered the first one. Satanic Temple opens religious abortion clinic to promote destruction ritual terminations, where their abortion clinic says that it will offer a religious approach to reproductive rights with destruction ritual terminations. They're calling it a joyful celebration of satanic values and knowledge and pleasure. And by the way, every attendee has to submit their soul to Satan. You can't make this stuff up, guys. This isn't some fringe joke. This is the same group that the IRS officially recognizes as a church. And let's be real. When you openly mock God, celebrate sin, and push this inversion of everything good and natural right out in the open, we're not just watching cultural decay anymore. We're watching a full-on spiritual battle playing out in real time. This is what happens when a society rejects truth, rejects natural law, and lets darkness masquerade as enlightenment. So in today's video, I'm going to drop some truth bombs that the Satanists and the atheists and the God-hating crowd do not want you to hear. But just before I do, I'd ask that if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please consider making a contribution at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal. You can send me Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. You can sign up here or here for a monthly reoccurring contribution. Thank you so much to everybody who does contribute in that way. You can also send me an e-transfer, or you can send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. A link for all of this is located in the description below. Thank you so much to everyone who contributes. I cannot do this work without you. All right, guys, you've seen the black robes and the upside-down crosses and the so-called enlightened atheists and Satanists who are smugly declaring that there is no God. They tell you that the universe is just a happy accident, that morality is whatever feels good, and that you should live for yourself, because nothing really matters anyways. Well, today I'm going to dismantle that garbage with plain common sense logic that even the most hardened materialist can't wiggle out of. So first of all, if there is no God, then nothing created everything. Just think about that for 1 second. The blazing sun and the glowing moon, the countless stars suspended in perfect order, this earth teeming with life, plants exploding with fruit, animals paired male and female, perfectly designed to multiply and fill the planet, the food that sustains us, the music that moves our souls, the miracle of the human eyeball, intricate, focused, and seeing in stunning detail, better than this camera, and the absolute wonder of childbirth, a fully formed body emerging from 2 microscopic cells. All of that from absolutely nothing. That's not science, folks. That's delusional fantasy. That's a fairy tale for adults who don't want a boss. Scientists used to push the idea that the universe is eternal. No beginning, no end. It was just always there. But then we discovered the Big Bang. And boom! Space, time, and matter had a definite starting point. It had a beginning. Even Einstein himself had to abandon his atheism when the evidence hit him straight in the face. He knew the rule that anything that has a beginning has a cause. The universe had a beginning, and so therefore the universe had a cause. So let me ask you the million-dollar question. Is it more rational and plausible to believe that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, or in the beginning nothing exploded and created everything? That's not rational thinking, because that's a scientific impossibility. Everything from nothing? That's mental gymnastics on steroids. But then people will say, okay, Dan, if God created everything, then who created God? And the simple answer is that God is eternal. He didn't have a beginning. Therefore, he didn't need a cause. Now, let me explain why an eternal God makes more sense than an eternal universe. If you keep demanding that something had to create God, then you end up stuck in an infinite regress of causes. You're trapped in an endless chain of what created that, and then what created that. An infinite regress of causes is logically impossible. There had to be an uncaused cause to kick off the whole sequence of existence. And that uncaused cause, we call him God. Next up, fine-tuning. If there is no God, then blind randomness produced this finely tuned universe. The distance between the sun and the earth, for example, is perfect. A little closer and we all fry to death. A little further away and we all freeze. But instead, it's just right. It perfectly ripens your tomatoes and gives you a nice tan on a summer day. The second law of thermodynamics backs this up. Everything is in a state of entropy. Everything decays into chaos and disorder unless external intelligence intervenes. Randomness doesn't build perfect order. It destroys it. So, how does chaos accidentally produce a universe that is so fine-tuned that one little tweak would make life impossible? It can't, guys. And it's ludicrous to believe that it can. Which brings us to information itself. If there is no God, then you have to believe that chaos produces complex, specified information. Let's say for a second that you're walking down the beach and you see some ripples in the sand. And you think, cool, the waves did that. No big deal. But then you see Johnny Loves Jenny 2026 with a heart and an arrow through it carved into the sand. That didn't come from the waves. That demands intelligence. Now, an atheist might say, well, if you give it billions and billions of years, then the waves could write that English sentence with English letters and punctuation and numbers and symbols. Absolute lunacy. Now, multiply that absurdity by 1 trillion. The DNA of a cell contains more densely packed information than an entire encyclopedia set that wouldn't even fit on your bookshelf. Coded, functional, and precise. That level of coded functional information does not arise from random chaos. It screams design. Chaos didn't write the book of life. Design did. And then we get to the mind. If there is no God, the unconscious somehow produced consciousness. Non-rational matter produced reason itself. That's completely backwards, guys. You can't get rational thought from non-reason any more than you can get a living being from a rock. And speaking of life, 100% of the time in our human experience, we never see life come from non-life. Never. Not once. You don't see rocks giving birth to rabbits. You don't see dead matter suddenly animating. Yet, we're supposed to believe that that's exactly how it all started? Human life produces human life. Animal life produces animal life. Plant life produces plant life. You will never see a rock give birth to a living thing. Never. Yet we're told to swallow that dead matter randomly gave birth to life. That takes more blind faith than any church pew. Now, here's the ugly truth that most people don't want to admit. Most people aren't actually looking for a creator. The same way that criminals aren't looking for the police. They don't want anyone telling them how to live, what they can and can't do, what's right and what's wrong. They don't want rules. They don't want accountability. They want to be their own God. And that's why Satanism and atheism shatters when you press them on morality. They love to talk about empathy and compassion and justice. But if there is no God, those things are just chemical illusions in your brain, figments of your imagination. If there is no ultimate standard, then morality is relative. It really doesn't matter if you live like a saint or if you live like Hitler. In the end, you're both just worm food in a fertilizer pit. There is no justice for the victims, no accountability for the monsters who get away with it. Yet, every Satanist and atheist that I've ever debated suddenly becomes a moral absolutist the moment somebody steals their wallet or hurts their feelings. They borrow from the Christian worldview to even just function in society, while denying the foundation that it rests on. Intellectual inconsistency at its finest. So, the bottom line is, the evidence is overwhelming. The universe screams design. Your conscience screams that there's a lawgiver. Your very existence screams that there's a creator. Satanism isn't rebelling against some old man in the sky. It's rebellion against the obvious truth that's staring you right in the face every single day. So, the choice is yours. You can keep doing the mental gymnastics, pretending that nothing exploded into everything, and that chaos wrote the encyclopedia of life. Or you can follow the evidence to where it actually leads. In the beginning, God. That's not blind faith. That's the most rational conclusion that a thinking person can reach. So please drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you wrestled with these questions? Did something here hit home? Please let me know. Make sure you hit that like button and share this video, especially if you want more truth like this. Subscribe if you haven't already, or follow me depending on wherever you happen to be watching this video. And as always, keep pressing for truth, guys, because the truth will set you free. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant. Keep fighting the good fight. And stay tuned. I'm going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.